Now I know these vice grips are going to mark that piece of metal. And before I start drilling here, how many of you recognize that piece of metal? I'll bet you a bunch of you jumped up and said, "Hey, that's a flattened out brass tube from a Slimline kit." Well, if you said that, you were right. Anyway, see if this is going to grab and twist out of the vice grips. Now, how many of you recognize that screw? Yeah. Well, I bet you've thrown out probably 2 or 3 computers that had a bunch of those in the back. And I used to have a 286. I remember when I was looking at 386s and the salesman was telling me I'd probably have to have a fire extinguisher beside it because they were so blazing fast. Yeah. Anyway, I save stuff like that. Now it's going to come in handy. Now sometimes I can make a little centering punch in right where I want it, and sometimes I can't. I imagine that now, because the camera's running, I can't. Maybe I just won't even bother. Well, that's not even close to the black mark. I think I'm just going to see if I can slowly go in with the bit on the drill press. Now, I don't know why I didn't think of this in the first place. Like they say, too soon old, too late smart. Now, I remember the first time I actually saw this being done. And I was just a kid. There's an old guy who had a machine shop in the back of his yard. And he was going to put some oil on it. And he looks at me and says, "Do you think the oil's going to, hinder it or help it?" Can't remember the exact words, but that was the gist of it. And of course I said, "Well, the oil's going to make it slip. It's not going to cut as good." Anyway, then he went on to explain about cooling and cutting. Now, mind you, this nail is pretty soft. I probably didn't need to put any on. But then I'm not a machinist. I just sort of putski around here, and generally it works. Let's see if we can make a hole in this nail. No, I didn't do too bad, I guess, for an old far-sighted woodworker. But I probably would not get a job in a machine shop. Anyway, I've already tried this tap in this piece of wood. I wanted to make sure that the threads were actually the same. It was going to actually work. And as you can see, it's going to be just fine. Providing you don't break the tap off. I've done that before. just get it started here as straight as I can, and then I'll put a drop of oil on it. Okay. Maybe I better put it into low gear. And the slip clutch is a little bit too soft here. And this isn't tight enough. We'll get it yet, folks. You know what? Why don't I use that little vise that I was using before? Makes a lot more sense to me. You know, by rights, I should probably be doing this by hand. But if I'm very careful, it should work. I don't want to be getting oil on the green towel because I'll have to do laundry then. Okay, I just can't wait. Did I get the right thread here? I suppose if I was to use a screwdriver, it'd help too. Not only am I old and farsighted, I'm stubborn. There we go. It feels right. Get rid of the burrs and I think it'll be alright. Okay, I'm stubborn, but I'm not that stubborn. There we go. Yeah, now I'll just do the other one the same way. So, okay, what this was all about is, I don't know if you noticed, but last week when I was counting the number of oscillations per minute, the shaft was slipping inside the spring. And you might remember me saying it didn't come back as far as it should have, or something to that effect. Well, that's because the spring had slipped. And I noticed it when I was editing out the video. And probably some of you also noticed, but were just too polite to say anything. So now I got the problem that the shaft is slipping inside my arm here. And yeah, well, a hub will fix that. But that's going to have to be tomorrow now. Yeah, anyway, this works pretty good. It looks a little bit crude, but you know, for a woodworker, it's not too bad. Now you will remember I was telling you about that old guy that taught me about cutting oil and how it helped to cut and cool. Well, I was just realizing that I'm the same age now as he was then. In fact, I might even be a little older. And if I'm not mistaken, he's been dead for almost 100 years now. Well, so it seems. Anyway, that's kind of scary. It makes me think, I wonder if I'm going to get my clock project done. Well, got good news for you. If I don't have to. But I think I will.